pursuit in downtown LA. This seems to be on Santee Street, and we're following this white pickup truck.
Yeah, the pickup truck looks to be a little beat up.
Yeah.
There's some damage, it looks like, to the roof of it.
Driving very erratically, almost just hit that car right now.
You can see paint has peeled off of the front of that truck, and we don't know what's in the bed of that truck.
Now, officers seem to be right behind it.
Yeah, this is concerning, though. Obviously, in the downtown location, speeding around some of these corners and going through stoplights and things of that nature. We don't know. This person is not paying attention, it looks like, to crosswalks, stoplights, any of those types of things. And this is right in the central heart of downtown Los Angeles, Main Street and East 9th Street. This driver, we don't know if it's a male or female. Not sure how this call came in, or what the person behind the wheel is wanted
accused
for.
of doing. Right. We don't know why they're pursuing them, but as you see, they're making a very strong effort here to get away, disregarding other cars. It seems traffic signs and signals. Yeah, this is a very dangerous pursuit. You also think about this is the time of morning when a lot of people are still heading into the office, going into work, and this is the busy downtown area. It's going into a much busier street here, turning onto 6th. Officers are in pursuit right behind, which at least gives other cars in the area some notification that something else is happening, which hopefully can keep other people safe. But this is some very dangerous driving.
That's the only concern from the air, is that, you know, in downtown, you do miss seeing where he's located, or he or she, I shouldn't assume, but where they're located, because these high rises can end up blocking the view from the air. So police are going to have to stay right on top of this person, whereas sometimes on freeways and things, you can get a better idea of where they're headed and how fast they're going from the sky. But you can see just seems to be going almost in circles around these downtowns. Oops, swiped that van.
Yeah,
we just saw right there.
Close to so many vehicles, keep making these very sharp turns, almost as though he's trying to evade officers and get them off of. But look at that, there's so many close crashes with vehicles here. You can see it's a busy street with lots of people walking down. And again, we don't know what this person is being pursued for. There is a lot of work equipment that's just being thrown around in the back of this truck.
I can't tell if it's, I mean, there are buckets back there. I can't tell if it's
paint cans or something of that nature.
But there's also a lot of garbage, it looks like, in the back of that truck as well, in the truck bed there. Again, paint peeling off of it. Doesn't look like it's, you know, the car is being very well maintained, and obviously driving. We're not sure of his speed exactly, but obviously is looking
really fast. Yeah.
Especially on downtown streets, it's going to look much faster, since you usually, you know, you have to drive relatively slow because there are so many stop signs and other turning points. You wonder if he's now headed toward the freeway.
Right. Is he trying to make it to the freeway? Is he trying to stay in this area? Driving really erratically. You wonder if he has a destination point or is just trying to get away. It's hard to make out who is in the vehicle. We don't know how many people are in this vehicle again, or what the person driving is being pursued for. But as you can see, they're going really quickly trying to get away here.
Yeah, SkyCal trying to push in there to try to give us a better look at what's transpiring, but obviously going, oh, now we have the speed.
Wow.
83 miles an hour at one point
in the downtown area.
So not quite sure where this person may be headed. You know, we've talked about in other pursuits, a lot of times people go back to where they're familiar with.
Sure.
We don't know where this vehicle was picked up and where the pursuit started, but we are on San Pedro Street right now in East 18th.
And we're learning now this driver is wanted for reckless driving. Okay, so LAPD is in pursuit, and they must have noticed this person driving recklessly. It seems just after 7:20 this morning, so only a couple of minutes ago. The driver would not pull over.
That is a bad crash.
Okay, we have a really bad crash there.
That driver
that car flipped over
and flipped into that construction area, it looks like. Hopefully we can get somebody on scene. Okay, you see the driver coming out.
This driver has crawled out of the vehicle
and is casually walking away, maybe not recognizing that we can see him from the air, but
this other car was struck and has flipped over. Police,
I hope people aren't seriously hurt inside that vehicle. That is always the now he seems to be walking
like he's going to be making his way towards that vehicle.
He seems to be not quite sure what to do here.
Right.
I think, you know, the police are on top of him. He's trying to get away. I think he's now recognizing kind of the magnitude of what has transpired here, and walking toward the vehicle that he hit and ended up flipping into that construction area. Seems to be calling almost for help.
Yeah, and police were so close in pursuit. At least they can help the people in that other vehicle, and you hope that they're okay.
And you hope police know that this is the person who was behind the wheel, because they They are getting out now.
Yes, and they are approaching him.
Asking him
with
to,
their weapons drawn. Yeah.
They likely will have him get down on the ground. Hopefully,
yeah, they're clearly giving him instruction that he's not listening to, but they seem to have him restrained at least now.
And now police are going to have to figure out how to get into this construction site because, as you can see, there's barbed wire around it.
It also looks like it has some height to it. Watch the officer. Looks like he's going to have to kind of jump down, which means that that car flipped a good distance.
And what I'm concerned about is you're not seeing anyone try to get out of the vehicle, so you have to wonder if maybe they've blacked out or they're severely hurt and they're not able to get out of that car at this period of time. That black midsize SUV hit by the truck that had been in pursuit by police. This is always a concern for police officers too, especially that's why sometimes they decide to back off or not pursue as aggressively because they're so concerned about others getting injured. Now you can see
some smoke coming out of the back of this vehicle. I mean, it was hit so hard, and it's a hard call for officers because this driver was driving recklessly. So whether they were pursuing or not, that's what they approached the driver for, and he was not stopping.
Some of the speeds we saw, though, just on those downtown streets.
60 to 80 miles per hour.
Very concerning. And, you know, thank goodness no pedestrians were hit. We saw him go through so many different stoplights and crosswalks and that type of thing. You can see officers now trying to check out the vehicle.
And probably trying to speak to whoever's inside if they can communicate with them.
So we've got 4 officers on site that we can see. It looks like a number now up on Trinity Street as well, trying to also get in to help whoever may be inside that vehicle. This happened, as you can see, at East Washington Boulevard and Trinity Street. That reckless driver suspect who had been driving erratically, being pursued by police, ended up hitting this vehicle, flipping it into this construction type area.
It appears they've gotten the door off, and that looks like an airbag maybe that was deployed as they're trying to check on the driver of this vehicle that was hit by someone who was being pursued for reckless driving. And if you just joined us, that person seemed to have been apprehended just a moment ago.
I believe we have someone on the phone with us right now. James Abelow is with us. Can you tell us?
Yes,
oh, Dave. I'm sorry, Dave. I misheard your name.
No. Oh, no worries. No worries. Yeah, no, I was just telling that they do have the RA en route, the ambulance is en route. Yeah, it looks like they can't even get inside the vehicle. But yeah, right when I joined you guys, was just getting ready to speak when all of a sudden he just slammed right into this victim's car. And this is something that no officer wants to see. They were hoping they could just get, I was hoping that he just wouldn't make that corner and then just end up beating the curb, and that was about it. But when he hit this vehicle, and these officers, I'm afraid that fire department's going to have to come eradicate them using the jaws of life, tear it open, at least get it open. It looks like, I believe they're talking to him, the victim inside. They may just be trapped.
Okay, well, that's a good sign, at least if the person is speaking. Dave, this is really the worst case scenario for an incident like this.
You see an officer now crawling into the vehicle.
Okay, trying to reach that driver and see if anyone else is in the vehicle. But this is, of course, what officers were trying to avoid, which is why we kind of saw them aggressively following this driver who was wanted for reckless driving, we understand.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I had in Central Division, officers that were in pursuit of them for quite some time, actually. Yeah, just reckless driving.
Dave,
and just total disregard for the public.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between a high-speed pursuit on something like a freeway versus downtown Los Angeles? Oh, and it looks like a person is out of the vehicle.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, if you see the ones on the freeway, it's one thing. It's because we don't have to worry about so much about this sort of thing happening. Young female that's they took out of the vehicle, and it's like I always said before, slow, fast freeway streets. They're all dangerous, no matter what. But with something like this, though, you always worry about pedestrians, cross traffic in this situation. On the freeway, at least everybody's going the same direction.
Right.
Not that it's any less dangerous, but yeah, I mean, it's even better for the officers that are in pursuit.
Are there different tactics for the officers?
Certainly, yeah. It's on the freeway. It's especially when you got an air unit overhead. You can back off if it's on the freeway. You can call up units up ahead, even other departments. and they know that the pursuit's coming. But when you're downtown LA and they're making a left turn, right turn, yeah, that's when it becomes a little bit hectic. And sadly, this is what happens.
When do you decide to pull back in a situation like that on downtown? Because we saw them go through so many stoplights and through crosswalks and areas where there are lots of pedestrians and other vehicles like this one that ended up in that construction site.
It's usually up to the incident commander, and that whether that's the incident commander could be the ranking officer in the initial pursuing vehicle, or it could be the watch commander sitting in the at the station.
This woman,
So
I just want to.
It depends on.
I want to point out this woman does appear to be
either
somewhat
injured or
just in
the
distress.
shock of being flipped over when you're in the car in the morning like that. We don't know how severely injured she is or if she's just in shock. It is good to see her at least being able to communicate with officers.
It seems there could potentially be a language barrier too. It looks like they're bringing in another few officers potentially. We don't see any paramedics yet on site or firefighters, but there are lots of police officers in the area. In a situation like this, when you do have someone on the ground like this, and it looks like the firefighters right on cue are coming in right now to be able to help with that ambulance behind. How do you keep someone calm as you're waiting in a situation like this?
You just talk to them as well as you can. You go up there, and I mean, what we've done before is you go up there and you say, hey, I'm Officer Dave Avila. How you doing? What is your name? And they'll say, let's say it's Carol. And you say, Carol, okay, we got the ambulance coming. It's over, and then you just try speaking to them, softly, just to kind of keep them calm. But I mean, I can't even imagine what it's like to be sitting in that vehicle and just get slammed into.
Yeah.
It was just so jarring.
It just, yeah. I mean, look at the front of that suspect's vehicle. That's a heavy-duty truck too.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Is we just were able to get a shot of the front of the suspect vehicle, which had already had some, damage to it. It looked like some paint peeling off and things like that. But it looks like it was a very significant crash.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a heavy-duty, the victim's vehicle too. I'm assuming it's an SUV, so you're looking at about a 5,000-pound vehicle getting hit, sliding up to left, and then what makes things worse, you got this area where it just dropped right into, flipped over right up on its top. So thank goodness it didn't catch fire. That's what I was so afraid of.
Right. It was even more dangerous, though. It looks like, we saw officers kind of jump down to get to that vehicle. So it looked like it was several feet below the sidewalk here. What kind of charges could a driver like this be facing? They were already being pursued for reckless driving, but now you've hit someone and possibly injured them.
It goes from felony driving to assault with a deadly weapon, utilizing a motor vehicle, ADW with the motor vehicle. And, so those charges will be brought up on them.
What did you make of the suspect's kind of attitude after getting out of the vehicle once it hit? It looked like he was at first maybe going to try to get away and then starts going toward the victim's vehicle and then obviously is stopped by police. But what do you make of his demeanor?
If his leg wasn't injured, if he wasn't dazed or whatever, he would have taken off. It looked like that's what he wanted to do, but he realized that one of his legs wasn't working very well. And then he was kind of like in the street. So yeah, no, I wasn't impressed by that at all. Sure. I think if his leg wasn't messed up, he would have just taken off on foot.
Yeah, it shows the lack of remorse too in a situation.
Oh, absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
And then you wonder if that driver's
remorse.
impaired in some way.
Yeah, I mean, lack of remorse. I mean, it's just the way they were driving. Total disregard for the public.
Yeah.
No concern for pedestrian. No concern for anybody on the streets. It's just that I want to get away at anybody's expense, and it's just sadly this is sometimes the way it ends.
Yeah, it's good to see firefighters have now reached this victim, so she's getting treatment. It seems that they are working on getting her.
This is going to be a difficult situation, though, to get her out of this, several feet down. It looks like they're going to have to put her on a stretcher and try to get her up.
And she really hasn't moved from that position since they pulled her out of the vehicle, and officers kind of backed off from her. So I would assume, Dave, that she communicated to them in some way, that she was feeling too much pain to move, or is it just standard not to move someone in a severe crash like that in case they are really injured?
No, sure, yeah. You don't want to try and pick them up or anything. I mean, there's no doubt that poor gal is just hurting. And yeah, you're going to just stay still. You know, the ambulance is coming right now. The paramedics will be here any minute, and you know, they know exactly what to do as far as treating her and getting her stabilized, just to make sure everything's okay. Because I can't imagine what she's gone through, that poor girl.
Yeah, what a
I know.
horrible start to the morning. This is the end of a pursuit we were following for about 20 minutes in downtown LA. Dave Avila, thank you so much for being with us this morning for your insight. Again, if you just joined us, then that suspect who was driving the white pickup truck that was driving recklessly and wanted for reckless driving, we saw be detained by officers, and it hit this black Kia, which flipped down into this area, and a woman appears to be injured here, but firefighters are now taking her to the hospital.
Yeah.